My guest is seated in front of me. I be share nkomo na say. Your friend Abena Nyarko Appiah. Ultimate friend the barrister and as a solicitor. Let's say we sound say lawyer moi pa to barrister. My barrister Esquire barrister. But you say Esquire the barrister na yebako.
UK then they solicitor.
Okay. Oba ye heya na ye.
Well, it'd be more barristers, but me personally, me a solicitor.
Solicitor. Not just say the first point of contact. Unya semwa obedi kan friend no. No no wadwene ho. What I say asembia to asembia to say uhia aban mu nipa bi court ni bia ma na twaje no no na bedi kan friend no. And sakra no abo mame amane. Yes sir.
Sanity. Perfect.
Next wadwuma na nya easy o.
Enough.
No, so your clients can call you any time of the day.
Any time of the day. Say I have a 24-hour number Juma, so that in case of emergency. And for me, I am immigration. I am all round because sometimes I am enforcement team. I pick you and Ajua. You still need a lawyer. It's good to speak to a lawyer and so I can't be a very detrimental to your case in the future. I am a 24-hour number Juma.
Into police, never found mom say whatever you say will be used against the court of law. No. Let's say you're not supposed to talk to the police until you've spoken to your solicitor.
Ideally, that's a good advice, not to speak to them until you can say no comments for now. You have to say something, obviously, and say, no comments until you speak to your solicitor to get the advice. Because if you go left, there's the consequence, and if you go right, and then so we're home soon. So
na yefa ne say me no omo kire me no ewade mpangu munya botre enye no kre ye kire me no na je say me ho pepere me na maka de meka wi eno sa no ba ye beda ne yano ana se obehwe bia maka koy na watwetwa age me ho no.
Yes, ye betimi ahwe bia aka koy no na yetimi advice so say na wa start toni inti usa be sesa no in pay me bre ya na enye and inti ye be hu say na ye be advice so a case by case basis. Sometimes you'd have to change your plea. Is allowed. If you cry, like I say, nyamina me ye. What's the time Jane say I'm guilty? Inti you can change your plea. Ni na wo hun so inti sometimes no o ka say be you're guilty. Obo because of pressure o kind now. I've known clients that can say na person make case me na me no me jam me, especially in criminal cases. Those are kind to be because these people, they are quite intimidating and they will pester you into so account who's in the bema to each other and you're not and there are cases on who's in your the onus is on the other side to prove say especially in criminal cases and not even in immigration. Also why a marriage of convenience, which is a sham marriage, not just a wash that you be just to gain immigration advantage. No or say but the burden of proof the other side is all because so you can say that they have to prove otherwise and things like that. So depending on the case, we will advise you to make your plea. As lawyers and as solicitors, I'm very sure it's the same in Ghana, but in the UK, when you are called to the senior courts of England and Wales, which is what I am, you are also an officer of the courts. So I am an independent lawyer, but I'm an officer of the courts and an officer of the Home Office. What we are swearing to is that we will not help clients to deceive the Home Office. So I will not be the one to tell you the plea to enter and as a dear Obeka. All I'm saying is that I'm advising you the decision is yours and yours alone to make.
Hey.
Even in criminal cases, sebi, we kunipa na. Now we catch your mea. Maybe it's been kind of like a so kun. But make just say, you're not wasting the course time. So your plea can, if you show remorse and all that, it can be reduced a bit. Now, when you saw na now you make us go through a whole hearing and it can take for months. Always the public resources. Now it's being found guilty so the decision is yours. Obeka and I won't it be a what I do evidence ye. There's so many criminals or for free because it be a you share crime movies here who says, hey, you found some cut dead body, you wear gloves, so big on touch his surface. So if you feel you've covered your tracks now, when you tell me, maybe I can't check third parties here because of confidentiality. Because even while the hearing is going on, you can fire me, you can fire your lawyer and hire another one. I'm not supposed to disclose your information. It's confidentiality. You are bounded by it. But the decision to plead guilty or not to plead guilty, or to say that it's completely your decision. And same kind, the burden of proof is on the workers on the and in this case, maybe at the prosecution to prove with evidence or no to say that's on our
Now you see, so when your case na say we need solicitor number, how do we get to you? Abambe pebi amawana.
Yes, for immigration cases, not really, but for all criminal cases, Nadia, it's actually a right, not a privilege, to have a lawyer. It's part of your human rights. Say you're a lawyer. So for all criminal cases, you are entitled to a duty solicitor. There be more on site, and at any time of the day, there's someone there more on a shift. So when you are about with murder or with theft or with grievous bodily harm, that is a way proud be baby sano, then you'd always have access to a solicitor or better advice on your options before you go into to enter your plea. But when it comes to immigration, it's mostly private paying. To who immigration case, there was a lawyer. Now to me money to charge you. Say immigration enforcement for about becho. So when in Krata, you'll be in Krata na year you might see a detention center. Get over detention center first. And say Chiomo do wako removal center. Odu removal center what they know is a kotoka. Hona okay come back. So alata and also you do see alata mem. It's sanity. It's detention. No, that is where you have the opportunity. So oh lawyer be now what you charge. Oh, is there any reason to chrome home to minko? And then na union Becca say be a me a gay me a lesbian me a saying be a my saying. So there's something, a fear of persecution. That is a me I fear for my life. And that's all extremely difficult medical condition. Ebo ya rebo ha sebi ebo organa ka ye hwehwe say de obekwa bicha kosa yare. So wa pe kwan bi so aba. Abi rakrum na say yare na bo ho a, they will not bring you back. It's against human rights. Also so we'll give you in Krata based on your medical condition no matter.
Wow.
It has to be very very the threshold is very high. Because I've done cases for be a 77 no HIV/AIDS. It didn't cut it. I've done a case for someone because retroviral drugs they will tell you that it's chrome. I did a case for someone dialysis, and that's cancer of the blood, isn't it? And see now they made a research and said there's a hospital in Ghana called Rich Hospital, and there's one called Kolebu, obviously the big one, and they said they have the access to the dialysis. So accessibility, if the accessibility is there, that is all they need to know. Then you can't cut anymore. If it is there but not affordable, they don't really care. So it's there in my country, but it's very expensive. No, that is your own situation. If Ebini Hokra, I can't think of Arabia medical professionals. I can't think of Arabia in Ghana. Arabia or anyhow, it's not accessible at all. So I can't fly or baby to say you can say now Ninkrata Nasa Boa. So it has to be a very, very, very high threshold area. But yeah, these are some of the things.
Nti se oni obi ehhehye aware na mukodu kromu ho na nibako ka se menware obi na se kodu mo nsem a mutumi manibako ni gya aware ma bako ba na bako aka na yedi wi na beba
Debbie. Into for instance, if you are saying skilled worker visa about COS at the phobia braid, they about UK, braid about UK. Means me quite make sure say what's what baby, you know. So many people got the opportunity to come on that route. Into be about sinikununi. Obana na ebe ye juman. Only afan as a nurse, as a carer, oba. And no our into odini kunaba. You don't have any business in the UK. The one is a mayor neighbor na medina do the moment we bedroom was we jail open. Bema nkwane was oba fe. Oba ne the ono be na dwuma no de ne kuna account be ma ne kwa na wo so oba however the phobia wo ho moma na makem na say abe illegal migrants no de ne no pe kwan obefa so and na say bi abe ma no oba ne ja wo na wo so anya campaign am na sponsor and na say we share oba for crowd no sponsor wo agi watem and na say bi ko ni obi akowo na nipa kro no e wo British nti akra na be British that is we gina sa kwan so agin kata nti enya mu mienu nyina na e de mbeba de all worry no
main one
ne be okay.
Na dependent na besin.
Dependent ni mum. Una e wasa obesin. E wasa obesin. Say dependent for 10 e wasa obesin a. Ba akokra mesin. Omu na aka. Omu na aka o say me ma bedru no. O say chi say articulator the bedru me. Onkoda. Omo person so put so the hotel na bi on dem maybe na akọ British child na so the age. On the one na bia bibi abana so the age.
Na unya akọ wo ho no mo an krata no to me cover up mame no.
It me cover however any automatic. America and Americans are American citizen by virtue of being born there. But wow. In the UK, so British citizenship is going through either your mom or your dad. Inti obawa ba bia the visit grand na became e wo se won you do British. Me can British I mean British bro ni fita. Ebi before ye nyina ye ebi mu ye British money ade. Aha. Inti obi a wetimi anya ne indefinite leave to remain and the British passport oni ne wo a ono sa na de ebe ma akwa nya nti nya automatic. Obo ho a ne be se wa would ba wa nwu yi. Akwa bia yakwa ba for the purpose of inkrata asem de e wo se akwa ne maame ana papa ye British a all throw ni din that is a friends or sign amount. Aha. And so our friend in your biama akava mama. Ne kwa sa de obinya nkasa based on the parent roots.
So when you say wa hanso so na de kwa enkova mo.
Enkava. Unless
na sama wo ho.
Aha.
Me dampa no so.
O dampa no so. Wa na achim. Push na wa ba beto ho.
Stella yanka me.
Devi. Emfa. She say our friend mama. And our papa no British. Adofo bi timi bebe wanyem wa ha. Na ho ba so quick no mo bi Simon na so many other ho enhye da amfa. Because obeso won say ebra wo conceive akra no e wo se na maame ne papa no were the same place. If you can prove that ebra wo nyem abofra no wa 9 months maybe wa wo in September it's assumed obinyem be say January 9 months give or take no. It also prove say by January no na papa na bia na wa ba Ghana. And e bia fanisa asem ko be share when na nyinsem ba nti wa ba ho later abewo. Because if there's no proof so share be man ko ntu kwan Ghana 2 years ni also 9 months ago. How do you prove that or no na a share mo ewo that is a person or Simon which is gaining immigration advantage, which is not only immigration offense, it's a criminal offense if it is ascertained. So we'll try so be too is a crime punishable by imprisonment and deportation.
Hey, but some trace come papa no.
Aha, no no, you're not supposed to pay. Aha,
how am I not supposed to
you're
pay?
Not supposed to pay because I will say ya bufano papa nkasa. Aha, you know, I don't know na Ghana for friend connection bi I will try her dey atna ho, but ningi na ya dey ye the suma sinuma because the moment it comes to light you are in big problem. And the pay out the phobia for me me chase come will be 9,000 ko dan lawyer bo am na menyi na msila ye kwa fele claim for the form na e dey na automa na obede woka we don't sell COSs yentua nya ejuma yentua anware obi ni na na friend no marriage of convenience and a sham marriage that is all too future go many entisa and I say etisa ya nchewa ohun so ye chewa hard
Olo ya nya solicitor nya butre o se yemienu ya hihye se ye ware wo ha na eri akwakojan na mo che butuma jele
sa nete
o de mo che mo fa ye magistrate kra mo be dem
o serve sentence ni we are uncle kafi na nti nipa sa your friend of foreign national offender or your criminal free your chrome ha or so say you chrono and it's we are boni anke nka so de kokom there o be serve with jail term na we nti any crime I ebe to chrome ha ebe me ya sentence to more than 12 months via it's automatic deportation. I am Kumo. Aha, so what about even at a young age? As a gentleman, I send it to no, but at 2 years old, grown through the system. Yes, okay, fraud near there. He was deported. He's virtually British because 2 years the Usakra, now not the name or free bro, you know, the Pimson near there. They deported, you know.
Oh, 2 years no could drop with you, and no quiet boni, and then more than 12 months.
Yes. Yes, sentence due to fraud, and those are quite big cases.
That's all on the British book near there.
British book, that will not help you because what's the word? Onye British brony pa native, yes, that's the word we use. That's you know when you're native British. Aha, unam chenchen wa babinya British. Yes, and again, another country. Another country that you can be removed. There's a lady I won Shemima, you won to Asian parents and call ISIS. Aha, mo fa ne call ISIS as a teenager. But no, the case has been back and forth. On my revoke it. So we call something revocation. We can revoke your British passport. Yeah, the mawa is not forever. I'm not quite one will come but our immigrant parents. So if they identify a crime, it may remove you. You'll be removed.
Something about issue.
Aha. I'm not you're revoking the British passport, so you don't have the right to live in the UK anymore.
Next, I know you do back sana. Your mouth how many years and so what me as I reapply?
It's almost impossible again. You deport there, forget it. Don't try the UK again. A ban, and I say a ban will be our application agent be the fraudulent bank statement. Ebi mo ye efa ye hu echi but case worker obey any due diligence be checking or chua, then you are banned for 10 years. After 10 years, no bet me ako UK unless if 10 years ne maya, the only visa bet me ako your spouse visa. That is obi or your British and indefinite be waro. Until there are so many people are banning or manya obi ewo or warren now because of that the ban now you invalidated. But uncle yes are there banning is for 10 years. But you're deported there. And that is you kissing goodbye to the UK forever.
Until by now 10 years na say one between we no be ware okona say say ban wa e bit mama forever and I say mama 10 years be you.
Yes, I unless we a criminal offense. But say ban no, be a ban a year ago. Obi abeware okwa I don't see how they'll ban you again unless a criminal activity. When you are sentenced then you're deported and you travel su. They won't mean could but yeah, but no now to me you are free. Like your offenses have been forgotten or so to speak.
Next deportation dey by ware okra na unye bi
Debi. You nya deported now but there will be or British. We need say Prime Minister ne be ware okra befa.
Na sisi I deported o free UK. Or apply US very possible.
Very hard. I know people are ya ban your UK, but met me ako US. But see you deport to UK. Untimi nko US because they share it information. These major countries they share it even for the ban. No, I think US no they don't really do a lot of checks because there are so many futra minimum kofobi bro me to US for any or the fire UK and get better no. So this guys me the way na konya UK other than buy US me the way na konya US visa other than me did the same thing by UK they do their due diligence. But when it comes to deportation, your name will be on the deported list. Into another day, any other way to US.
That's a Canada crowd.
Debbie, all these major countries. You say be a Togo here.
You deport Canada crowd to me call France, to me call Paris.
No, I don't see. I've not heard one story of you deporting from the UK. I wait to me any of these countries. Say if you are banned. And I know people who have been banned who've been able to go to US, but deporting there. If that is why a criminal activity, into your name will be on the criminal offenders list. So it will come up.
Pacho Brenu Kakana.
So Abema Aba on the Criminal Offenders Act list. Abema na very almost impossible. I can confidently say that see deported from the UK onto me going of these Western
countries.
Yes.
What you call baby?
Togo,
Ghana and any neighboring countries. Cote d'Ivoire. Sir. Let's never be able to deport yourself. Criminal cases, theft cry bit me deported.
Theft no depending because the threshold to it into theft no no chrono no even armed robbery is covered in theft. The general umbrella theft.
Shoplifting.
Shoplifting. I was coming to that. I know dear. Na yen sentence. So boy it's me community service. Not just over proper neighborhood. One year cleaner there but punishment near the amount. 2 years na ye per se ye maunya agent sacha. So those ones are fine. But high wako theft under £200 no. No more sa na tie. But wako ye theft. Wako be 15 million Rolex watch. I know it. Sentence no. Yes.
Inti say wako ye immigrant. What are some of the things I be stay away from the laws? I won't catch you bebre.
Okay. Inti we are immigrant. It's impediments and who here so be shown we ashe asem fasha wo there are people who have been caught in train stations sebi unin krata there but bills no it's not waiting for you sorry abiditi nti bia okoye adwuma na random search the amount of people who chiro mo ye parties unin krata me say ebetimi avoid parties especially the any eden obi to ne bedin fie ni pa sorry be they are fine but parties are drinks ne drugs e wa ase no scatter timita pai that is the police but ni na afi no na be ma ye born sa no ho so na information ni na ahye emfa because unin krata nti be those are major places that applicants immigrants and ho chiro mo to bo ba I'm like sometimes ejumem nso eno so etimi ma ye chi nkofo sometimes no omukọ ekoye random search internet there is just a case of being utinya but sometimes you are at the wrong place at the wrong time na ababe foul but when those are immigration cases but when it comes to criminal cases now try so unya bone I think those ones can be avoided. Immigration need a random search be near Chiwa because to me shut them every time because we need kata. But criminal cases need there and you be unquiet drugs. Oh, young quiet quick turn, young could deliver drugs near them is at the fire by your mano, yen show me be brave or Ghana and America UK or movie to dancing at the Pobe Braba or Modi or Moman Swaba and Crano, especially boys no or Modi almost Sumasuma could deliver drugs money a day. Now say we would say baby near fro. Now your baby can. Ebi a wan kofa ma na oba kofa aba ne be hu so okra ni nkrata na afia no so your problem yen hwe your money into your money for UK for be Ghana for be braba UK ya gigi o moma enche ni aje o ma social service because we want me nhwe akra ni ti e be bo am wa hwe no omko into the social service system no so a enya de papa bia eboa e mankra no e problem nti some of the crimes na betimi I avoided enkoye boni a we need that ho ni obi nkoko sometimes a lady be friend so the boy pushing no up in the car say hey so I gonna in fact you know your fans na ha na nchena nipa ho akere no so those things that can be avoided by all means yen share your ho ye away from it na yen asa
nana kwa de wa send me no emu enna ho nom niam na o dia send me no me kan ya menti ase o say obi bisa question o say agent deceiving Crawford with the COS no COS in education kakra fa COS and how to get it right
very very key into COS the kind you be because the COS here they friend no certificate of sponsorship a visa a under skilled worker visa it's a skilled worker visa no UK should share talent from all over the world. Into skilled worker visa no, has been in existence all this while after COVID in the sea in 2020. That is almost care healthcare no ebeka a shortage occupation list no into skilled worker is highly skilled labor and almost share from around the world, engineers, lawyers, blah blah whatnot. And what they care because during COVID no adofo be jai care juman because it has come with you being in contact with Obi and sure about COVID in kofo jai. You see a shortage I was field no what they can home. Inti ebema ubenya certificate of sponsorship na say eno na yet say employment contracts company na fa metu out £12 an hour obeye ejuma 48 hours a week blah 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 that is what your friend is you a certificate of sponsorship na agents being so edi atum futuro bebe sen kofo bebe agent kofo bebe sika there be because I don't want to trash all agents and nyom nyina na travel agents and nyom nyina na yebone but e was so ma we need that ho into how to spot agents or your papa wo kase share me poku trading share me akra mo no jessica pudu afi you need to be in an office and ideally you need to be paying through a bank account and first can ko share obinsem because at the end of the day is your word against his or some anya or in country be one so ho dance for no edo so be brave and the thing is that the COSs are not even for sale. There was all call online she share juma call interview na company na fa also company no bo ho kanyina na sebi ono na ebe fa mo aye juma ma no o si me tu £30,000 a year other na was o tu aska answer wa fa wa sama we juma asa acha worker but unim say your middleman in for interjecting this scanning so you are not supposed to pay but it's almost like when to answer unyapi it's in for to you don't have to pay as we speak now no UK for a skilled worker visa no health and care no specifically a film utie ya no pay na agent busika won ho so ye healthcare ni bia ma wa tum future good connect ni hu and tisebium since 22nd July 20 and 22nd so exactly a month ago UK for a healthcare no free entry clearance striking off you sound to me pass route ni mabium it is a union realm na afi na agent bi so obeye bia ma wa tisebium the rules have changed a month ago untimi nyesa so that is education our COS is under the skilled worker route
into the agent ni tun future go mani no mo ko da abonten no
mo boss say I've seen big men crying. Oh, lawyer me work and I'm a secondary school teacher. Na nye bad cry. And the agency, you know the sweet stories the agents tell. Oh, ba benya sika 3 months. Yeah, call me 9 years. Me nyanya mi sika. Because the student is happening. Say became years. I don't know how they're telling you that better can you now within 3 months. Na ya GD. So these stories and sister, what can it be brow? So honya also bra bet na ha. Yenka saying we are only saying that come right because sometimes Ghana might be a better option. It be about a way away. It be that one team in ladies be an almost more that baba shop be will lead in teaches a baba for any pon bear 10 year proper or not sabi me so we maybe you know because why you're vulnerable when you baby that even so our Ghana and anka was this year caribbean utimi koba you know people were quite big lady bag was me were made for you na me ba hey enkoye inti obe all Jews can away juma no wa. For instance, there are 10 slots. What one nipa be 50. Inti upa won't me ma we juma ni bi. Wa Jews ka be dru one crash had be intimi. That's what they think. Me do wa be okay. And now to me fa nem court bia because I don't know your connection. Aha, inti yen hwe ne hu ade ba ko e ma nkofo ho kire mo pan so you're driving. Woni nkrata, you have no business driving. Obi a minim driving me fa hakra. Asama ma yen tancho. Aha, but as some also they wouldn't that will be there about to another could be to because driving the sign be home. And also me etching for pants, Mr. A bop or comfort cacophus a gun and I'm drive it into you can so I'm finding them fishing wants to know better name no not police need the sound.
How can one get visit visa someone new home? You bet me applying the same.
At this point in time, no, I say that visit visas are not good visas to come to the UK on. So, over visit there by all means. Visit visa for 6 months. Who applies to a conference for 2 days. Come stays 6 months. That's the standard one. But unyon could say for visit be room brebu romani here and then no enye juma. Enkaneno na your cards be a tisenka Ghana card. Your friend biometric residence permit. Into page ma ukita card na their chair employer no na odia hwe senya Felicia tia me ne sei e bia me dia obetimi dia akoye adwuma ye nchew but ene ya sesa no since December ye twam nyoma sesa. That is the thing with immigration inti unyonko bi ma advice or catch what used to be 20 years ago 10 years ago ko na asesa onim because onu wenya ne krata to follow immigration bi to visit visa no yes all the be visit be more exposure. UK is a holiday destination just like Dubai and any country by all means super so be visit ko dia fa visit visa bra but enopa ho a visit visa no enye visa eboa na ekwan so betimi afa so enya no aya na do fo bebrejin say wo UK wo Ghana person by UK untimi use the services of a UK based lawyer. That is a fallacy, that is a lie. Was so UK based lawyer e krona wo be mu no a whole lawyer no only nim the BBA or bet you so back way and how to integrate in the system. Media be remove but a crime na me fa so a me pese ma setna na e final because nipa be to crime ba no be mpese obeko aha to visit visa na you the ba edin unyo bi nkrata fa nya adwuma because BBA electronic near there, so definitely use the services of a UK based lawyer. And that is why me waha if you want to use me, I'm happy to help. Share me with social medias. Abena Nyarko Appiah lawyer, Abena Nyarko Appiah on TikTok. Very responsive. Reply on message in minutes, and then we'll be in contact. So use Obia. Obey me. Abuao. Aha. And I feel about visit visa now. Adophobia to for invitation letters. Also, many of you also watching 5,000 invitation letter, mommy. You don't even need an invitation letter for mobile or two. Only mobile by all means or chobwa. But the requirements of the visit visa are that only mobile it was so to me about visit UK. You have to show that you have strong ties to Ghana. It's Uba visits now, but sign about which.
Na mini solicitor mini ties bi am nware ye. Me light bill no kra no me share them because me churobin chen but me want to say me could holidays me dey aba
e be hard kaka. When we talk about the ties in Ghana, the major one I want to share your economic ties. They want to know that you are working, you have a bank account. I've seen many people are always power or bank accounts grow ni bi. Who's a market woman fui mazi fui sika wo munsem but on to bank or the moment na be a transactive business and on the emfa. To be whom me advice for the next 6 months, let's build your accounts the right way. Who was kind that how they want to know where did the money come from because of money laundering, any other things. Was say baby scanunya free into other forwards come to bank, not just for the to bank, make it intentional. So we should show bank accounts no.
Yeah. Na scano me de tumo am another one I said them na me di tumo kakra.
I was so di trawenum. So skabi dem na we nyi bia obeka so only access to scan e bia ye besia no akobo atum we nyi bi on ti ase it will say your flowing accounts e bi equal na e bi but monthly expenses and make it consistent bosumi bia may 10,000 I spend and yes e be up and down aha until will say scan we nyi bia na dem say obeka so only access to the accounts into na onyi
na active account de bia me yi me de bi tum but sisi ane de hwe but records or say me am de me yiska but sisi ade hwe
and no so behind you because closing balance no closing balance is as important as the starting balance and how the transaction over the last 6 months has been. See, fine, the last 6 months are running come up, but the last month and sabe of this and been unya better na when you ska credit to coin. And a unya so oba sika obi di way denya. So they want to know all that on bezo the visa and for because the number of visas I issue no. Now somewhere like France, which if it's one kwawana, who could you be more person the bema? Even when you're in the UK. Because we are watching for 3 months, we are went me after into quite that time. No, beso koji for because my first one of farmer. And yet issue in the MFA, I was so the back because minimum so be spend this car with me chrome. Na mean so many skakaka into I was so closing balance and so yeah come on. The way they do the math is that sika also best spending no. You have to have at least 3 times of that money in your closing balance. Into on the application form, mobile to say how much are you willing to spend on your trip? Was it £2,000? Uncle be cry was only 6,000 closing balance. You need to have 3 times because Jane was a so also best spending 2,000, not £2,000 at that accounts more. Ubana sa uba ofia skabena be the Jane who akusi that time. Or Jane you need 3 times money no. It is also best spending 2,000 on the 2 weeks trip. You need about £6,000 minimum. Now adeba konsu say uka so best spending 2,000 for two weeks no. Or Jane say ukrum crowd no. For a whole 6 months, won't spending £2,000. Why are you coming to waste this money in this country? I don't know who's there. So you don't have the right intention. Will be refuse you. When it comes to visit visa, there's a lot of calculation that goes. Answer you might think, say, how much do you spend in your home country in a month? Or say 4,000 cedis. How much are you coming to spend in the 2 weeks you are coming? So £2,000. So everything has to be very intentional.
Hey, as I say, Yakopon boy, Yami boy hanging can be a baby to me con head on more yet. I'm
on the gates as to open an anointing.
We are saying it there. We are saying it there. Solicitor, before you go, your time no, you ask maybe your phone line someone come here. Show some for questions on person busa. Go for person who took my palm up right away.
Yes.
Say the bay on my back. But what are the latest? What is the latest immigration law where you can say the latest one?
Okay, into the latest one would have to be about the skilled worker visa. No, be a 2 men, no sooner one send be brayaba. And then another 40 me the back at me do kuno money a day in aba any you can cast statistics in numbers now you watch your one go for papa and not just from Ghana, from all over the world, Asia for no or my papa because they open the route to everyone in the world that wait me aba. And I know soon now should here any experience because over be care once you can tell them that wash your own and be that wash your bad and in care. Okay, personal care, those things. In and no sooner they've made so many changes at the 4 and now send me kind from 22nd July won't be ma as a Caribbean. But because just all from 11th March 2024 last year, closely the routes for dependents. Inti unya COS after 11th March 2024 untimi infa dependent ma inti oji usika na agent no church so udi nka mema okunu no umaba obwa intimi happy biem after 11th March is now routes ne so dada. So those are the major changes that are still na today yabohun the rule because a TikTok show me regular TikTok show on Wednesday and Thursday me host any bra fefe Daniel Datson which channel our TikTok a ubenya no so our UK you educate every time e come but to date at the 40 me free na wakase menya went agents be music now for the skilled worker routes you should definitely be in contact with me and let's mention advice or them once away to one mom
me pacho question be fa according to ho a hwe no wan kwa me to futuango ani ye solicitor wa hanom be cheche oni nyina Abena Nyarko Appiah she say o hanom she has all the knowledge, almost everything you need to know before you apply and come in koju sikendi obi aju sikendi dada so dia is gone but dia can wait me abo ho ban number na 0556692445 0556692445 into go for approach what me the be echo
da It's me a pa on the right way. It has to be stated that for me being a lawyer, nobody me lawyer me person me worry will be sebi. I tell people me connection man. I don't me ma couldn't worry me nya be ma. Aha wa oba me share be ma we me person me I'll show you all the requirements you need. We now here because it's not enough so when you're British or be worry and what can deal with ho. Aha terms and conditions apply. Also only 29,000 pounds a year. Be money wo paper so be before the salary news emfa. Aha I was all pass the English language test. Nti be also me school samunya me bro for nya just all pass.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Also, good morning.
Pacho bibia woko.
Nyamiad mo demo papa.
Ide radiase. Me pacho bisa question.
Pacho me jaje mkasesi weja.
Yo.
Pacho bese misa immigration lawyer say, is there anything like work and pay in Canada and I say Europe? Work and pay.
Work and pay in Europe.
And also Canada.
You.
Okay.
You. That's
you. Yeah, but that's it for a question. Work and pay there, not just say it be a self-employment, so being a no what's our arrangements, no. But when it comes to the UK and I say Europe and I say the Western world now, you're usually on a contract basis. So you're on a salary, it's work and pay there. It be a or bow one son juma. Into no what be your salon be carpentry, you don't want bomb, no, you're working pay. Ghana you use those terms, but yeah, you may be a year in the regular system, your friend working pay, you'll be employed. Yes.
Employed. Hello, good morning. Yay. Work and pay the taxi. Work and pay the taxi. Now just say, oh, could you taxi or Europe? Me wa.
Uchi krana, on say friend Uber, you black caps and so ewo.
Hello, good morning. Hello, Odo. You wanyano.
Yeah, upon our Chinese cat, you see upon a son about 50-60.
You, Yamishan, pa, Yamishan.
Friend of
You, yeah, that's it. Bye. Bye.
My year audio,
You. Bye. 0556692445. PAC awo you can Yamisha opa wate. Yamisha opa ne wonto bo awde aba. Ye da se mani sopa, me de mani sopa. Kakra bi amode bebo abo amohu bia no. Ma ho manije. Ma ho wa akra se me da dwumade kakra kan tese ano a. Ese sankrofo abrabo. Ye wo immigration lawyer wa hanom e friend no Nana Abena Nyarko Appiah solicitor. Na je se immigration sem nyina no. Ubisana. Oh yeah, my last caller. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Me pacho yeti o.
Yeah. Let me go in English, please. I'm away, but I can't speak the truth very well. So, and secondly, I'm a driver, and I'm looking for a car to use and to pay the person back. That's work and pay. So my duties and I can bring my guarantor to the person. If it is you have a car that you are not using again, that you can give it to me as a work and pay for me to be using to the taxi, I'll be glad about that. So my phone number is 059 17706.
Thank you.
Let me say it again, the number again, please. 059 17706.
Yeah, that's
I'll be very happy over that.
Thank you. Abrochire nkoma na yebo no. Abrochire nkoma na yebo no. Abrochire amanone nkoma na yebo ne sesia. So dem we. Sa boafo asem no ye wie. Sa segment na wie. Menya guest wa me ne twetwe nkomo for immigration ho. Beso tu kwan koye adwuma, beso tu kwan ko ware sa nyama nkomo ayebo no wo openim de bi afiri ho a ehun nkomo na yebo no. Hello, nkomo na yedi ne ho asem na beka na bibe foforo. Hello?
Hello.
Be ba cho nkomo ya yedi ho nkomo na wo bebo bia na bibe foforo.
Madam, good morning.
Good morning.
Joshua ni.
Oh, my darling, that is saying.
Everybody adum na so e.
Me ho ye pa, me ho ye.
E da body ase.
Yo.
Oh, madam, me dey asem na person bisano.
Yo bisano.
Bisa say me case we no. How many times I was say mu kokko tan kana wa kwajina da kama akasa.
Pacho case baya.
Okay.
Kasa.
To send me, I sent a company meeting. And send a lawyer no more call to buy a port and name and copy of Musi. Yeah, corner and met me a codina daka makasa.
You, Mate. Maybe somehow.
Pacho.
You. See, I may call away of free or yet more Ghana Hanum na. Ne send me machine tenants. No, besides say, the lawyer no more court no, or mount the canal 4 times. Ni no man or man could be how many times obey both made a child.
A procedural. I know what Ghana hanti. I don't want to behave like a Ghanaian lawyer. I wasn't trained in Ghana. But in the UK, no, generally, no, it all depends. Sometimes, no, you come to the very last hearing, no, because the situation, yeah, then at the end of the day, okwa onko kashi. Ola ya phone advocacy amount. I'm gonna come and say na into no. I think it's very similar in Ghana. Into na ehunya me here say. On because medical reports near the scan the pictures near the kind. That is how it's in the UK. I'm very sure say and also to our Ghana
Joshua say utie ya asem wo no me ba chofa number 2 dwane bia no bi person o no kasa but wonya konya amfre ana so ofere say man say na betina sim nti pa cho number no
okay nti me number Pacho me colleague Ghana number no out but me UK number no o say bia we say 0044 745 680 4637 0044 745 680 4637 into ubenya me WhatsApp over Ghana and I'm saying me Ghana me will have for 2 more weeks into ube so from me Ghana number and so 053 592 2573 053 592 2573 after 2 weeks unshare the nyame number iso into bo modern and share me ubenya me wo email so abena@acgilead.com abena@acgilead.com Gilead nigga GILEAD abena@acgilead.com and our social media since so ubenya me our TikTok on at lawyer Abena Nyarko Appiah udm me and so mejo so now at the phone follow your show on Wednesdays and Thursdays Ewo Daniel Datson on TikTok as well. You will pay a book via me host no what try friend the dangers of dealing with visa agents. A bit save you a lot. It's only 40 Ghana cedis in the other 4 Ebenya was Stella Ewo Ghana into 40 Ghana cedis other 4 and when na tam sika pudu akoma agent there the kind ne all the texts
and son na why yes I mistake you know nyame won sure be brave so didn't chechire yes I brain you hear mu se be hu bi ma son na wakoba nyame sure be brave thank you so much for coming
thank you Onua 95.1 FM yeah